So today's question is dismissive avoidant attachment a real thing? I suppose that depends on how you feel about attachment theory and attachment styles, doesn't it? I personally would question anything that tries to box people into types, especially when they try to do so universally. But I'll explain what it is with the caveat that I'm not 100% convinced by attachment styles, okay? So the term dismissive avoidant attachment describes the behavior of a person who purposefully tries to avoid emotional connections with or close relationships with other people. And they usually actively avoid romantic relationships in particular. And they try to live a life that I suppose is what they deem to be independent and self-sufficient. They also try to withdraw from relationships when they start to get too close. And I suppose they're often quite secretive and rigid as well. They don't like their plans to be influenced by other people, and they're more prone to, I suppose, engage in shallow and casual relationships, which are then over quickly. Now, in order to understand this particular attachment style, you need to understand the basics of attachment theory. So according to attachment theory, infant behavior is largely centered around the building up of attachment to caregivers, which, of course, in most cases, is the parents. Attachment provides the child with a sense of being rooted. So children use attachment figures, the parents, as a secure base to explore from and then return to. So attachment theory maintains that because our primary attachments and our value of relationships in general are shaped by our interactions with parents and caregivers during infancy, dismissive avoidant attachment can therefore be traced back to a lack of healthy attachment during early childhood. Dismissive parenting, for example, which would entail, not providing children with the care that they require, and that's therefore considered a leading cause of the behavior. The theory is that these children then start to respond by means of avoidance, which allows them to maintain a kind of conditional proximity with the parent that is close enough to maintain a sense of being protected, yet still distant enough to avoid the devastation of constant rejection. Attachment theory and attachment styles are popular. And I think they're popular because they allow you to identify with a type and to fit people into a box. I am this type, you are that type. Very similar to Myers-Briggs or DISC or Clifton Strengths. But attachment theory doesn't take into consideration a myriad of things, such as background or culture or even social class. Anyway, I'll stop before I go into a full-blown rant, but that's essentially what dismissive avoidant attachment is, in theory.